Hi and welcome. I get asked an awful lot. So, it's an awakening journey. We're shifting into a higher state of consciousness. We've got to neutralize down the energy. What are you trying to say, Kat? That actually we're not going to feel anything when we have neutralized that shared energetic field. I want to go back to the bubble love phase. The bubble love energy, Kat, was so incredible. I want that. Okay, here's the thing. With a soulmate, you can have that bubble love energy. But with a twin flame is one soul. You are neutralizing those big highs and those big lows. It is about awakening you to your true essence. It is about healing at such a deep core level. And so, will you have those big highs and big lows? Because here's the thing, and you probably will have heard this talked about on this journey. Once you have soul recognition, you are activated into that polarity. Now, the polarity has lots of different names for it. You might have heard it called runner, chaser, divine masculine, divine feminine, push, pull, positive, negative. It's the same thing, whatever label we want to put on it. Basically, it is about a polarity, which is a duality, i.e., if one is pushing, the other one has to be running. And so you have to neutralize the energy. Once you have soul recognition, you're not going to go back to that bubble love phase. Now, a lot of stuff out there we'll only talk about in that bubble love phase. We'll only talk about that love that you felt. Now, can twins, once they are in that union state, can they have that deep connection? Of course, but it is different. You're not going to be in the polarity of the yearning, the wanting, the needing, the lusting. You're not going to be in that energy. You're going to be in a Satori Zen state because you're going to have neutralized all the running, chasing, all the push, pull, all that toxic energy. And if you're on this journey, you will know because you'll already be starting to neutralize your own energy, i.e. what once triggered you early on in the journey no longer triggers you. Why? Because all your worst fears are brought to the forefront on this journey. Everything that you fear is normally brought to you, so you can face and stare it right in the face, so you have no fear. It's a little bit like, when you're a little child and, your parents turn the lights off and you go under the covers and you're so scared to put your head out in case of what you might see. And so you're under the covers and you're like, I can't breathe. I'm getting hotter and hotter. I'm sweating now. And so in the end, you're so hot and you really can't breathe that you have to pull the covers back. But by that point, the ego mind has run away with itself, that you've imagined everything coming out, clowns, spiders, all your worst fears. And you pull the covers back and you're just in your bedroom. There's nothing there. You're in that peaceful state. You see, when twins come back into that union state, it is a Zen energy. It's a Satori energy. Why? Because you have neutralized the duality, i.e. the push-pull. This journey is about collapsing down duality and shifting into a higher state of consciousness. We know, you hear on this journey, oneness. What is oneness? Oneness is oneness with all. We all know that we come from source divine. But you and your twin are the exact same frequency, the exact same signature. That's why it feels like no other connection. That is when the chakras align. They align perfectly in the same vibration. Why? Because it is one. And so can you ever go back to that crazy bubble love energy of up, down, feeling that intense you know, that intense love, like love you've never had before. But then there's the big drop down and the low and the feeling and the desperation. No, you are going to collapse that and you are going to move into a Zen state. And so you will move into that beautiful neutral state and shift into a higher state of consciousness. And that allows divine masculine to come back in, because you are no longer in that push energy. So it no longer feels overwhelming. I hope this helps. I send you so much love and support. Remember, this journey is not about you staying in pain. This journey is about you shifting into a higher state of consciousness. You are here on this journey not by mistake, not by accident, but to come into your own, shift into your own sovereign energy. If you need more help and support, my website's there. It's got everything on. There's loads of free information too to help and support you on this journey. Shift out of pain. You know, we've got 49, 50 days left of the year. You can do a lot in that time, i.e., get into the right energy. Start to create from this energy instead of feeling lack, instead of feeling fear. Release those, let them go. If you need more help and support, you need the tools, my website's there to help and support you on this journey so you shift. I send you much love.